I don't know about you, but I'd sound pretty dumb if I said that Victor Wembanyama is not impactful on the offensive side of the court. And guess what? That dumb person does exist, because an anonymous NBA scout said that Victor Wembanyama is not an impactful offensive player. Quote, he's absolutely awesome on defense and not impactful at all on offense. He just looks like he's playing without a whole lot of direction. Here's how I would respond to that anonymous comment. Stay anonymous, buddy. Wembanyama, since these negative comments, is averaging 36 points, 12 rebounds on 59, 54, 77 shooting splits. But how is this possible, and how did he go from a little slump to dominating the NBA again? Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. And well, before I was gonna make this Wemby video, I looked at his clips and all of his film, and I saw that he doesn't really have a play style. This is because he could literally do anything. And a stat that surprised me was the last 4 players to hit 6 straight threes in 3 straight games. This is Steph Curry, Trae Young, and Klay Thompson. But the 4th player is Victor Wembanyama. How is he being compared to guards? Oh, this is because he plays like a guard. At 7'5", he runs isolation plays and tells one of the best point guards to sit in the corner. And well, when he has this isolation play, he hit his defender with some step back, some through the leg moves to finally get a tough finish at the rim. The reason why Wemby is so good is because he uses his 3-point threat to get literally any bucket imaginable. Like the Spurs could be running the ball down in transition, and Wemby catches the ball from nearly the logo and pump fakes, so the defender is so confused and he just randomly pulls it and makes the 3. Like, genuinely, what do you do to stop that? Once again, Wemby has a 7-footer on him, and instead of going in the paint, he steps even further out near the logo again and hits another 3-pointer. You are looking at a 7-footer who would rather spot up from the logo than go in the paint. He's truly an alien, man. So that's how he gets his 3-point shots off. A lot of catch and shoots, a lot of pick and rolls. He pops with Chris Paul and knocks down those threes. But he can get any bucket now because he has the 3-point threat. And this play is a prime example because he's grabbing the ball and it looks like he's going to shoot a transition 3-pointer. But since he has a 3-point threat, he pump fakes and his defender is left to be in the air, and he just runs right by him and has one of the easiest dunks of his career. But this is the thing, the 3-point shot sets him up for these dunks and these easy attempts at the rim. And a lot of people have a problem with Wemby shooting these deep threes. It's like they don't want him to shoot this 3 and rather go in the paint more and be like a post threat. But I don't really know. He wants to make his own identity, and other people don't really agree on how he's playing. Gilbert Arenas had something to say about this, and by the way, if you don't know who he was a flat-out scorer in his NBA career, but some of his takes just don't sit well with me. Here's what he had to say.
You know, he can do that, so I would rather see him down low, pick and pop, the little 15-footer. You can see he caught it. There's nobody who can challenge his shot, so I'd rather take some of them easy 15-footers, lobs, you know, pick and roll right there instead of shooting that long 3. Like, you don't need it. You can be way more effective and dominant if you didn't. You don't need the 3 right now.
You know, he may be correct in some aspects of his conversation, but I don't really agree that going into the paint solely and focusing on your post game is going to make you a better player. The reason why Wemby gets these paint opportunities in the first place is because of the 3-point threat and because he could space out the floor. He already does the pick and pops with Chris Paul, and the only thing he doesn't really do much is get into the post. And well, I don't really think he needs to worry about that right now. Because when you make a career high 8 threes in one game and shoot it at an unconscious 54%, I wouldn't mind Wemby taking all these 3-point shots. But aside from this, there's a stat that makes me very hopeful for Wemby's success, because when you look at the youngest NBA players to score 50 points in a game, there are only 4. And the first one is Brandon Jennings. He was 20 years old. And the second one was LeBron James. He was 20. The third one was Devin Booker. He was 20. And the fourth one is Victor Wembanyama. To be in conversations with players like Devin Booker and LeBron James, that is pretty special. But you would think after a 50-point game, you would be super happy. You would be stoked. But Wemby isn't even surprised. He knows that he could do this, and after a post-game interview, he said that this is just going to be another 50-point game in the future.
Eventually, I want the rest of our, our performances, the rest of our games to overshadow this one. I want to make so that in the future it's just another one,
Expect to see a lot more 50-point games, ladies and gentlemen, but on the defensive side of the court is where I get very surprised when I watch him play, because Sabonis can have him on a pump fake and he'll jump. His ability to spin back so quick and adjust to block it after he jumped is something I have never seen ever. And he had a game against the Clippers this season where he had 9 blocks. The Clippers would just run in the paint, and while the Spurs were just funneling them right into Wembanyama so he could get block after block after block. And I can already say Wemby is going to win the Defensive Player of the Year award this year. Back to Wemby a couple of games ago, because he was struggling. We all know that. And I showed you guys that crazy quote that someone had to say about Wemby and another clip that was talking about Wembanyama. But the only player I've seen have a realistic answer to Wembanyama's struggle was Draymond Green. And this is what he had to say.
Well, number one, when you come back from off of that first summer, everybody been watching you. Defenses are prepared. It's not the first time everybody's seen you. There's game plans that's built to stop you. And so you have to adjust to that. And I think Wemby's just going through what most of us go through, where he has to make those adjustments. I think what he'll start to learn is, shooting 22% from three, is some of them he take his bag, and, start picking and choosing his spots on when he takes some of those shots.
And Draymond is completely right. There are a lot of expectations being set on Wemby when he's just in his second season. And when you come back, a lot of teams have game plans set for you to make you play a lot worse. And Wemby is adjusting to these game plans. And he may have taken some bad three-point attempts at the start of the season, but now he is shooting more threes, but he's shooting threes when he's getting it at the catch and shoot off the pick and pops with Chris Paul. And he's really picking, choosing where he's getting his jumpers from. Wemby is making history every single game, and the only Spurs with 50-point games are George Gervin, Larry Kennan, Terry Cummings, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, LaMarcus Aldridge, and now Victor Wembanyama. Those are some elite names. And well, if I was to show you how deadly Wembanyama is in one screenshot, well, I would show you this one right over here. One of the greatest rookies in NBA history, and now in the second year, he's ready to prove all of his haters wrong. If you enjoyed, make sure you smash that like, smash that subscribe. If you are new, really helps out the channel. I'll catch you legends in the next one, and thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video.